Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be reviewing The Mandalorian Chapter 15, The Believer. So spoiler alert to anyone who hasn't seen the episode yet, which is in my opinion one of the best episodes of Season 2, if not the whole show so far. For this chapter we are reintroduced to Migs Mayfield, an ex-Imperial sharpshooter and a gang member who tried to break out a criminal from a Republic prison ship back in Season 1. I think Mayfield's return is a good change of pace for this season because it breaks the monotony of introducing these hardcore warrior types like Ashoka or Boba Fett, which has become quite repetitive as of late. Mayfield is more of an everyday man, more of an ordinary person who may lie, cheat, or switch sides, all for the sake of survival. And I think in that regard, he's more relatable, he's more grounded, and which makes him a great addition to their team. But to be honest, I was a bit apprehensive about this episode, mainly because of Bill Burr. His appearance in season one was already flaky, so I just didn't want things to go downhill for his character. Because I love Bill. He's a great comedian, he's a great actor. I watch his stand up shows, his interviews in Conan, I listen to his Monday morning podcast. But there was still a part of me that was quite nervous because I didn't want Bill to be the Ed Sheeran in Game of Thrones. You know, one of those celebrities who gets shoehorned but doesn't quite fit, or at worst breaks the suspension of belief for the audience. But thankfully, I was wrong. I think he stole the show. I think he added the perfect balance to the group with his snarkiness and sarcasm, which was quite lacking from this all serious silent brooding types. He was a perfect mix. He was a perfect addition to that group, and in a way, he mimics Braun, who also perfectly balanced and stole the spotlight in Game of Thrones. So the episode starts off with our protagonist fetching Mayfield from a scrapyard, and again, we are reminded how intimidating Din is from a civilian's perspective. He's a Mandalorian who's battle hardened, experienced, and plus, on top of that, he's wearing this Beskar armor and he's got this entourage of seasoned fighters. So you can really understand how intimidating that is from Mayfield's perspective because he's the one, Din was the one who put him in that prison. So to see him again with a group of fighters, veteran fighters, and then wearing his best armor, you could clearly see from his face how intimidating that is. So moving on, the group arrives in Morack, where they have to infiltrate a base to know Moff Gideon's location. They hijack a transport truck, and this is where things really start to take off, because Mayfield begins to question beliefs. At first, we can see that Din tries to stop this by saying that they're nothing alike. He scoffs at Mayfield. He thinks that Mayfield's beneath him in a way, because Mayfield's more of just a gangster, just a paid gun, a mercenary. He'll just do anything for cash. So Din, in a way, tries to like put him down by saying that they're nothing alike. But as they drive on, as they have, as the conversation goes on, it becomes clear to us, the audience, and to I think Din, that Mayfield might be onto something when he starts telling Din that you've got this line that you say you'll never cross, but when things get desperate, you cross it. You said that you won't take off your helmet. So, which is that you won't show your face or you won't take off your helmet. So, things like that, things that only I think an outsider can think of. So, in a way, Mayfield is the perfect character to have this conversation with Din because Mayfield is not a follower of any code or religion. He's not this fanatic like Din. So he's got this perspective of an outsider and can ask then these questions without being, offensive or being insulting. So then the duo is attacked by pirates, which is one of two plot holes in the story. Uh, so when that happened, when the attack started, the first thing that came to my mind was, well, where's the security escort? We could clearly see that they were transporting something essential, something important to the empire, and also something dangerous. So where's the security escort? We could see that while they were driving along, there were traces of blown up trucks on the roadside. So it's safe to assume that this was not the first time this happened. And even if it was, leaving a fleet of trucks defenseless with precious cargo still doesn't make sense. So, in a way, again, a plot hole that was quite obvious. And we could see that they had the manpower to guard those trucks because there were a lot of troopers stationed in the base. As we saw when they were crossing the bridge, there were a lot of stormtroopers that defended them. So if you could just allocate maybe two or three stormtroopers for each truck, I think that would have been sufficient to defend those trucks from those pirates. As the pirates themselves didn't have a lot of weapons, they only had those charges to blow the trucks up. And again, yeah, even the TIE fighters, they weren't scrambled at the first sign of danger, which again doesn't make any sense. When the first truck blew up, uh, I think the message was just to remain on the schedule. I think remain en route. There were no any emergency plans. There were no alternative roads they could take. It was just you know deliver the cargo as planned. So no emergency plans, no backup or anything. So again, doesn't make sense to me. So Den and Mayfield then arrive on the base to locate the terminal. They were cheered by these stormtroopers. They were greeted by cheerful stormtroopers, which again could have defended the trucks in the first place. Uh, so they were looking for this terminal to locate Moff Gideon, to locate his ship, which is the second plot hole to this episode. So when they arrived on that base, and then Mayfield uh, told Din that it could be in a officer's mess hall. It didn't make sense to me. It didn't connect to me because I think it's safe to assume that Moff Gideon's one of the highest ranking officers in the Imperial Army. So for a terminal to be in a mess hall, unguarded, no security whatsoever, you can just access it and you can find out where Moff Gideon's ship is located. It just doesn't make sense to me. It didn't connect. It should have been in a high security area, an office, a receptionist desk. Again, doesn't make sense. Why would there even be a terminal in a mess hall? It's for eating, isn't it? Like, why do you need a terminal there? So again, there's one of two plot holes in this episode. But anyways, they were able to get the info, just as Mayfield's former officer approaches them and invites them for a drink. So the three of them have a drink, which reminds me of scene in Collateral, which is a great movie, by the way. They started, conversing, talking about what happened in the past, and then tensions started to rise as Mayfield begins to lose his composure while reminiscing about Operation Cinder. And you know it's bad even when a battle-hardened Mandalorian gives you a certain look. Uh, so Mayfield snaps, pulls off a Vincent, and shoots his former commanding officer, which results in them blowing their cover. They escape with Fennec and Dune providing cover fire, and Fett picking them up with the ship. And as they're leaving the base, Mayfield asks for a sniper rifle from Din and is able to blow the base by shooting one of the trucks from a fairly, long distance. He gets a compliment from Fennec, which shows us how dangerous Mayfield is as a sharpshooter. Because Fennec is a trained assassin who uses sniper rifles, and for her to give that compliment just again shows us, just uh, demonstrate how capable Mayfield is. So the episode ends with Din sending Moff Gideon a message, which I think is a great cliffhanger because it completely closes the story for this episode. It's like a ribbon, for a gift. It's a perfect closing scene for this episode. But on the other hand, it prepares the audience, it prepares us for the upcoming, showdown for the next episode. Overall, I think the episode was great. It was superb. It was a testament to how great of an actor is Bill Burr is. His performance was so commendable that even to gaping plot holes were not as obvious. They were overshadowed by Bill Burr, and I'm just so happy that a side character like Mix Mayfield can be so interesting that he just completely steals the show. And I did truly enjoy this chapter, just this episode. And I do hope that you've also enjoyed my review for this episode. Hopefully, you'll come back for more. I'll try to do more of this. Again, thank you for watching and have a good day.